Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our latest edition of Chat with Legends. In this episode, we'll bring you Ken Holmes from New York. Ken is going to tell us about his plans for this year. He's going to tell us about his path as an actor. And he's going to tell us about the plan, about the dreams he's willing to achieve in the next couple years. So stay tuned and don't forget to follow us on our social media. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing okay. What about you?
I'm great.
Oh,
Great
thank
to meet
you.
you.
No, it's nice to meet you too. Thank you for granting us this privilege, this opportunity to be able to talk to you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks.
How,
So
how you
how
doing today?
I'm doing great. We are burning here, but we can handle it. I mean, the weather is not okay. We are about 38 degrees, 39 degrees, so it's complicated today.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I know it's it's crazy. I
Yeah. Welcome
hope it gets
to
less crazy soon.
yeah. Welcome to Shots of Legends. How is New York? How is your day? How did you manage to achieve your plans for today?
For today, yeah, I mean it's still in progress. On the docket for today, New York is okay. The weather is a little it's nice actually out today. And it was nice yesterday, but it's been really cold and now it's warm again. Who knows? It's like different every day.
Yeah.
But as far as today goes, what was on the docket for today was talking with you right now. And then after that, I actually have a premiere for my web series. I have season 4 is going on right now. We had a little break, and
Yeah,
then the break's going to be
congratulations.
over, and we have a brand new. Thank you. We have a brand new episode premiering tonight at 7:30 on YouTube
Yeah.
for the show Zoom Short. So that's what's on the docket for today. So it's a pretty filled up day, and hopefully the premiere goes well tonight too.
Yeah, it will certainly. I saw your post on Facebook about that.
Oh, cool! Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. It's a new episode. It's called Same Vibe. My web series. It was born out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to do like a web series about Zoom conversations. It was started by myself, my dad,
Mm.
Burnham Holmes, and my friend Karen Clomy. And we just been doing like this web series about characters doing Zoom conversations.
Yeah.
But it's progressed since then because we've been able to film with people in person. The pandemic is over, and so it's progressed a lot. It's changed a lot, and tonight's episode's a little different. It's the first episode
Mm.
without any dialogue, so it's a little
Oh, yeah.
experimental.
Yeah, no, that's great because during the pandemic we had to find a different way to tell stories. So
Yeah.
yeah, looking to that scenario, it's understanding the way because I actually watch a lot of short films, people talking via Zoom and other platforms, so they could continue
Mhm.
making content despite that distance they were in because of the pandemic. So I think the history about that is still actual and interesting too.
It is interesting. The short films have changed a little bit. People figured out ways to create content, and
Mm,
also theater has been kind of interesting. I watched some plays over Zoom,
yeah.
which was an experience to see actors not in the same room in a play,
Mm,
and they figured out weird things to kind of make it work. You know, stuff like if they had a prop and then somebody would they'd like their hand would disappear and somebody else would like grab the what looked like the same prop.
mm,
Like little tricks like that. It was interesting. But you know, all that aside, I'm really happy to be working with people again
yeah.
because there's nothing quite like being in the same room or the same studio with
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
and
To feel that
collaborating in
energy.
person. Exactly. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I understand you. So Ken, talking about yourself, talking about your dreams, talking about your career. We know a lot of people have this dream of becoming a professional actor, director, filmmaker, etc. What does it mean to you to be part of the film industry?
Well, it means things. First and foremost, it means telling visual stories. It kind of combines the love of literature, the love of visual arts, like going to a museum and looking at the art on the wall, and combining those two things and to tell a story with words and pictures, and also to make a stamp on the history of entertainment, to make a mark on the history of entertainment, to leave something that will last for as long as film exists, you know?
Yeah.
It really, and it's also very, it's probably most similar, in my opinion, to theater, aside from a few factors, one of which is it's not ephemeral. Like theater is very ephemeral. It happens and it is gone. And film is not like that. And there's also the immediacy of theater, which doesn't exist in film, for better or worse. You know, you do take after take, and they pick the one that works, or they, you know, a combination of the ones that work, as opposed to theater, which is just like, just totally in the moment. I mean, obviously it's rehearsed, but as much as you rehearse it, one night is not the same as the next. And obviously that's not the same with film. It's the same every time. It really is dependent on the viewer's experience to change it, but really it's the same.
Yeah. But when you look to your fights, to what you have been through, do you think you're running to the right direction? I'm talking about the goals. I'm talking about the dreams. Do you think that you're taking the right path right now?
I think I'm taking the right path. You know, obviously there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more to work on. But when I think about the goals that I've had in my life, I have accomplished the major ones already.
Yeah.
I've worked on some of my favorite shows. I've met some of my favorite people. I grew up in I mean, I was born in New Jersey, and I was raised in New York and Vermont, which is a very small state.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I was raised in Vermont, and I grew up in a small town where I was not really able to really truly pursue my dreams as actively as I would have liked. So I had to travel outside of my state a lot. And so my goal was to live somewhere where I didn't have to travel all the time. I mean, obviously travel is a part of the job, but I didn't want it to be, you know, as often as it was happening. I wanted to be able to, you know, get up and leave, you know, and work would be 30 minutes away, 20 minutes away, 15 minutes away or less. You know, sometimes filming is right outside my door, and that's right now, and that's beautiful. And so one of my dreams was to move to New York or LA, and I decided New York because I love New York, and I think it probably fits my personality a little bit better. So that's where I am, and so that was one of my biggest dreams. And now I'm here, and I've been here for a few years now, and it's been going pretty well. Also, my other goal was to join the union, the SAG-AFTRA, which I did, and that's been very helpful. But you know, all that is, oh, and yeah, and also just to work a lot. And you know, I've been I guess a lead or featured person in at least over 30 films, and then I've also done miscellaneous work, background and featured in TV shows, which makes me, I guess I'm over 100 credits now on IMDb, which is crazy to me.
Congratulations on that. I saw your IMDb.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely headed in the right direction, but there's still more to do. There's still more to learn. One of my things that I need to do at some point, whether that's this year or next year, or, you know, just at some point on the horizon, I do need to find representation. I'm currently doing everything myself. I mean, in terms of, I don't have an agent or a manager. I do get text messages from casting agencies, but I don't have a one person representing me necessarily, which I think would be invaluable if I want to get the better roles. So
Yeah.
that's the goal in the horizon, on the horizon. But I do think I'm headed in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hope you find what you're looking for. Hope you find the success you've been looking for these days. But talking about
Thank
the
you.
influences, talking about the people that inspires you, can you mention some people that actually motivated you to be part of the film industry? And can you tell a little bit, when did it start? When did you find that passion? And when did you get that certainty that being part of the film industry is one of your biggest dreams?
Well, I've always been interested in theater and music and reading for as long as I can remember. I was reading books before I could read. I would, listen to stories, and I would audit, I would tell stories into my tape recorder. So I've always been interested in telling stories. As far as film goes, though, I really got into that specifically when I was 10 years old,
Mm,
due to there was an illness in the family, and one of the things I would find myself doing a lot to kind of escape, this was when my mother got sick. I would watch a lot of movies, to just kind of, I guess it's kind of started as a distraction, in all honesty.
mm,
But as I matured, I was able to use that distraction and to not have it as a distraction, but as have it as a way to explore humanity,
mm.
explore the way I was feeling, explore the people around me. So I almost wouldn't say it started as a necessarily positive thing, but it became a positive thing.
Okay.
And I would watch as many movies as I could find, as many. I watched at least a movie every night,
Mm,
and that started when I was 10 years old. Then when I was 12, due to my love of film, my dad um, encouraged me to audition for a college production of Shakespeare's Mary Wise of Windsor, and I got a role as the page, Robin.
mm,
And it was great to work in a Shakespeare production with college students, and that really gave me the taste for theater.
mm,
And theater and film for me has been connected, my love of both. And so up until that point, I would just do a lot of community plays. I would do a lot of college productions still, even as a child actor. And then I got into college in 2007, and I studied theater arts with a minor in writing. And then after graduating in 2009, a buddy of mine suggested that we audition for a movie out in Baltimore, Maryland.
mm,
And I was down. I wasn't doing anything, and I was totally up for the adventure. And so we went on auditions, and we got in as small roles as gangsters. Um, and it got my taste going for film.
mm.
And I don't know that the movie ever came out, but it doesn't even matter. I continued um, to audition, and I acted a bunch of stuff, and that's what really got the ball rolling, was that experience, which isn't to say that was my first experience. I actually did do a few things before that in film. I did some student films, including some improvised student films, which I love improv to this
Mm.
day. And I also did some extra work. But it
Mm.
was that experience in Baltimore that I was like, okay, I got my taste for this. So I continued to do movies ever since.
Do you think this is a heavy weight to handle? I mean, looking to this path, looking to what you have been through, and the challenge you have been facing lately. Do you think it's a hard path to handle? Do you think it's being difficult to find that honey, that goal you're looking
Hmm.
for? And how so? Can you describe
Yeah,
the process? How how and why do
yeah.
you feel it's heavy?
It's it's difficult. I mean, anybody who says it's easy usually can't really do it very well. But it is. I do find
Yeah.
it. it's challenging but also fun. I guess the difficult thing to keep in mind is that no matter what you do, um, it's not gonna be it's never really good enough, you know? And you just gotta do your best. And also there will always be questions like, how are you serving humanity by doing this? How are
Yes.
you serving your characters? Um, are you if you're given a script by somebody else, you know, are you doing it justice?
Mm.
And there are so many techniques, and you you need to find the techniques that work for you.
Mm.
Sometimes, and you also need to make it seem seamless. So whatever techniques you're using, you really shouldn't be an audience really shouldn't be able to see it when they're watching.
Yeah.
They shouldn't see the actor's process, because
Mm.
that's boring. If that was what people wanted to see, they'd come to rehearsals, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, there is a weight. And also, no matter what you do, even your best work, somebody's going to say it sucks.
Yeah.
So I've just learned that it is what it is, and no matter what, you got to do your best.
Mm.
And the things that you don't do well are things that you learn from. And so no experience is wasted. No bad movie is a waste of time because you learn doing it.
Mm.
And even the best work
Yeah.
isn't going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And
But
you know, even like you asked about my influences, I don't think I even answered that question, but like
yeah.
some of them are even some of them, you know, you go through their works and not all of them are perfect. And I have a lot of different influences. Like I they're kind of all over the place, honestly. My early ones were uh Robin Williams was an
Yeah.
early one for me. Comedy is still my first love, and I think he was, as far as famous actors, he was definitely my original inspiration.
Yeah.
Um, I also have some kind of lesser known ones. Like there was a guy that did a radio show that it was a ventriloquist show on the radio, which is, I know, kind of bizarre, but his name was Steve Charney, and I used to listen to him as a kid.
Mm.
And his style of comedy was an early influence on me. He did voices, he did characters, which I continue to do.
Yeah.
And then let's see who else. There were some people you wouldn't even expect, like people I'm not similar to at all, because you know I find that's actually true of a lot of people. Like not everybody who's an influencer are actually people that are similar to them, because you can take some inspiration from somebody,
Yeah.
and then you know you tell somebody they're an inspiration, they're like, really, I don't see that. But you know, you take what you see, and then obviously you're your own person,
Mm.
so it won't be an exact copy.
Yeah.
So some of those early influences were like Harrison Ford, Jodie Foster.
Wow.
More
Amazing.
recently, yeah, Jennifer Connelly was
Yeah.
another. And I guess more recently, I'm a big fan of Mark Duplass. I love his work as an actor and also a filmmaker. And because I do both,
Yeah.
he's a big inspiration. And kind of honestly, the simplicity of a lot of his movies. My movies that I make are very simple
Mm.
in a way. Like a lot of them are, you know, like Zoom conversations, or kind of like do it yourself, or like fly on the wall style. And he makes movies like that, so he's a big inspiration.
But how do you manage these two? How do you manage filmmaking and being an actor? Because I know you're a filmmaker. You produce
Mhm.
films. How do you manage these two areas?
It's
I mean, is
it's
it is to find that time to be perfect in both sides?
no, not to be perfect, but there's an easy part and there's a hard part. I'll start with the hard part. The hard part is that they're two different careers. People spend their whole lives doing one or the other, so to do both, you know, is a challenge. And obviously, in my instance, one of them is often going to be neglected. For me, the acting side is what I focus the most on. And that's the one I work the most in. And sometimes the filmmaking gets a little bit neglected. Um, that's the hard part. The easy part is that as an actor, a lot of it is waiting and, you know, waiting for somebody to make the call, waiting for somebody to give you an opportunity. And in those instances, in those moments where nothing is happening, you can create your own content. You know, I saw a brilliant video yesterday with the actor Jason Alexander talking about how actors today need to create their own content, and everybody has the ability to do that. We have our phones, you know, we have a whole film world in our pockets every day. You
a lot of
have
possibilities.
Zero excuse. So many possibilities, and you have zero excuse not to be making your own content. So in that time when nobody is knocking at your door, you gotta make your own door. You know, you've just got to break into the world yourself, and it's easier to do that now than ever. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's easier to do now than it ever was. And if you're making good content, or if somebody just you know, happens to notice you, there's a possibility that something will come out of that. And even if nothing does, I mean, at least you are working, you are learning, and it's not wasted moments where you're doing nothing.
Yeah, you know what I love, Ken? I can feel the passion in you. I can feel you do what you love the most. So that's that's a great quality, and I think you will get there for sure. Because I think when you have the passion for something, you have a lot of a percentage. You have a lot of possibilities to achieve the goal you've been trying to achieve. So you're doing congratulations on that. Yeah, but
thank you.
for now, I was going to ask you about completely about your career as an actor. Can you talk about the project you're proud of, and can you tell us about the plans you have for the next 5 years? What are you willing to achieve as an actor in the next 5 years?
Sure. Well, the first film that I ever did that I was like, wow, this is the beginning. Like, this is what I want my career to look like, was in 2014. I did a movie called Cold in July, which I still talk about to this day. Some people make fun of me for still talking about it. It's like, you did that in 2014, but you know, I still have to bring it up whenever that question is asked, because it really was the first film that is like, this is what I want to do. And it was a kind of a thriller Western type movie. I played a burglar, and I burglarized the home of this character played by Michael C. Hall, and he accidentally shoots me, and then it turns out I was unarmed, so he feels guilt. But then there's this whole other story where Sam Shepard, who plays my father, comes out for revenge. And anyway, this was a big movie for me. I had a relatively small part in it, but it was a very important part because it started the whole movie rolling. And I got to work with really big actors and a great director, Jim Mickle. And the movie went on to the Sundance Film Festival, and I went to Sundance to support it, and as well as another movie that I was an extra in called Hits that David Cross made. And I was like, wow, this is the start. You know, it really felt good. And that was the first movie that I was really I shouldn't say that I'd made movies before that I was really proud of, but that was the first movie that I was like, I felt like was like a career starter.
Yeah, but now I was going to ask you about the academic excellence in theater. You won this award in way back to 2009, and around the same time you won another award, Alpha Omega, for Best Actor. Can you tell about the memories you have about this prize, about these awards, about this experience you had at that time, and can you tell us how did you get there?
Well, I got there. I was just, that had been, oh gosh, what was it? This was like probably my second, maybe, yeah, probably my second year of college. And I had been working a lot in college productions up until that point.
Mm.
And the first award was the Best Actor award. That was the Best Actor at my just like a kind of an award for the best actor at the school at that moment,
Okay.
or one of the best actors. And I didn't actually know that I was nominated. I remember this is the story behind that award. I didn't know I was nominated, and I didn't even know about the award ceremony. And
Okay.
I didn't go because I didn't even know about it.
Well,
And so I got this recognition and I wasn't there. And then later I heard, yeah, somebody saw me on campus and was like, congratulations for the award. And I was like,
yeah,
what are you talking about? And they told me, and it was kind of I don't know, it was kind of funny. It was like kind of like a mix of like embarrassment because I didn't know about it, but it was also
yeah,
kind of like I felt kind of awesome too, because I was like, man, I look like I'm like too cool, too busy to go to an award ceremony when I'm winning this award. Like that's like what people it's like when what was it, Woody Allen didn't go to the Oscars when he won one time
yeah.
because he was like playing in a jazz club, and I was like, man, this is kind of cool. But yeah, but anyway, that I didn't go because I was too cool. I went because I
But
just
did you
didn't know
manage to
about it.
get did you manage to get the trophy or the
Yeah,
certificate?
yeah, sure. Yeah, I got the
Okay.
I got the trophy at least.
No, that's
And
good.
then the Alpha
Yeah.
Psi Omega one, that was Alpha Psi Omega is the theater fraternity. And so I won an award with them as well, and I was also on the board for that. I think I was like a secretary for them.
Mm.
So that was pretty cool. That was an honor as well. And those I guess were my first awards.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they might have some that meaning, that special
Yeah.
meaning. I mean, yeah, yeah. But can you tell us about going back to to your acting career? Can you tell us about
Mhm.
the bigger obstacle to achieving your intended goal in the looking to the Hollywood paradigm platform or the Hollywood contest? What are the obstacles? I mean, you see or you find during the struggle, during your fight. Can you tell us a
Mhm.
little bit about this?
Well, I mean, the biggest struggle that like most of us face is just finding the right opportunities, being discovered. Fortunately, like I said earlier, I do my own content, so I don't wait around for people to cast me and things. But
Mm,
so that's a positive. But another struggle, I guess, would be actors are expected to have a type,
mm,
and I feel like most people, when they look at me, and maybe I'm wrong, but most people, when they look at me, they're not really sure what my type is necessarily.
okay.
Um, I'm kind of a blank slate for a lot of people, so they kind of see what they want to see, and that can be different for everybody. There's not like a defining like everybody sees this one thing.
Do you think there's a quality or
Um, it is a positive if I'm already established, but when you're up and coming, I guess it's a little bit harder because everybody wants to know where to place you.
okay?
Um, and I mean, the positive is I can kind of fit into a lot of different kinds of roles. So I guess it's both a positive and a negative.
Mm,
Personally, I think I'm best at comedic roles, particularly straight man. Like I'm not really goofy comedic, but I'm a good straight man.
mm,
If somebody else is being funny, I can really react off of them well. I'm good at reacting. I'm good at playing supporting characters. I really see myself as a supporting actor, primarily. I
mm,
feel like that's where my strength is.
mm,
And I feel like I can also do more antagonistic and creepy roles pretty well too.
mm.
But those are what I feel my strengths are. But you know, everybody sees something different, and that's both positive and negative. And like I said, it's positive because there's a lot of different stuff I can do, but it's
Yeah.
also can be negative because if nobody knows where to place you,
Mm.
that can be challenging in an industry where everybody wants to know what your type is.
But what makes you different? If someone looked to you, if you had the opportunity to tell someone your quality, what would you say to them?
I think one of my biggest strengths is probably listening. I'm pretty good at making the other actor looking. I'm pretty good at making the other performer look good.
Okay.
And that's not just self-deprecating on my end. I'm also saying that because I feel like I can react really well off of what they're feeding me and give it back and give them the confidence that what they're giving me is working. That's part of the reason why I think I'm a good supporting actor. Listening, I this is maybe a little pretentious, but I think I see the world slightly differently than a lot of people do, and that can be interesting. And yeah, that answer might be a little pretentious, but I do think that's kind of true, and honestly, I think that's true of everybody. But I think I see the world a little bit like with an innocence, and I can bring that innocence. Maybe innocence is the wrong word. Wonder. I see the world with wonder, and I can bring that wonder to my work and make people see a character, make people see a situation in a new light. And I feel like those are two of my bigger strengths.
What do you think is the best key to achieve the success we all want to achieve one day in our lives? The key for
Persistence.
success.
Persistence is really important. I knew somebody once who, would audition, wouldn't get in, and then would be just kind of depressed and not really do anything for weeks or longer. And that's not a key to success. The key to success is it's all a learning experience, and you just got to keep going, and it's all part of the story. Another key is to be focused, but to have to be focused, but also to be able to do other things as well. Like I try, I act, I write. Those are my biggest strengths, but I also direct and produce. And when I wasn't working, I did a role as one of the things I didn't answer earlier. What I was building up to when I was talking about Cold in July was one of my favorite roles, which was this character that I created called Marcus Montage in a film/web series that I did called Old Hearts Cafe. And that was a character that wasn't like anybody that anybody was casting me for, but it was a role I knew I could do. And so I created the role myself, and had a blast doing it. And it still remains one of my favorite characters that I've played. So to work hard is important. A lot of people will tell you that, but what people won't tell you as often is that rest is equally important. I actually have rest on my to-do list almost. Like I'll have a list of my things to do, and then rest will be the last one. It's very important to sleep well, which isn't always easy when you have to like get up at 4 a.m. or whatever, but which sometimes you have to do to get to set. But as much as you can, rest up, create time to be alone, to be with friends, to do whatever you have to do to
socialize,
to socialize and to just refresh as a human being. And I would say those things are at least what keep me going, and the keys to my success. It's different for everybody, I guess, but that would be my advice to everybody is create as much as you can, do as much as you can, work hard but rest hard, and be persistent, keep going.
No, we hope to see you in the big production soon. Hope to see you in the in the high level.
Thank you.
Yeah. But before we finish our chat, we would like to know if you had the opportunity, the possibility to tell something to any casting studio, to an agent, to someone who could give you the light you need to achieve the biggest dream, what would you say right now?
I would say, I feel like to casting studios, you know, just like if you're looking for a fresh face, well, okay, somebody who can keep things unpredictable and work well with others. I feel like, you know, hi.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the things I bring most to the table, and I feel pretty solid about those. But yeah, just working well with others, and I take direction really well too. And I take direction well, but I can also make your direction my own too.
Yeah. It was a pleasure to have you here, Ken. It was amazing talking to you and know a little bit more about your path, about your dreams, about the plans for the next few years.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me a guest. It's been an honor.
Yeah, we hope to see you in the next opportunity on Chat with Legends.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a good day.
Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. What an amazing chat we had today with Ken Holmes, award-winning actor, who told us about his plans for the next couple of years. We felt your presence there. It was a pleasure. It was an honor to count with your presence in this episode of Chats with Legends. Hope to see you in the next episodes. Have a nice day.